If you love movies and movie discussions, you've come to the right place. Who am I, you ask? I am the Wiz, and I'm here to review the historical drama from 2000, 13 Days, starring Kevin Costner, Bruce Greenwood, and Steven Culp, directed by Roger Donaldson. For 13 days in October of 1962, the world stood on the brink of an unthinkable catastrophe. Across the globe, people anxiously awaited the outcome of a harrowing political, diplomatic, and military confrontation that threatened to end in an apocalyptic nuclear exchange between the United States and the Soviet Union. The film is about John F. Kennedy, played by Bruce Greenwood, with the help of his brother Bobby Kennedy, played by Steven Culp, and his advisor Kenneth O'Donnell, played by Kevin Costner, and how they prevented a nuclear winter from happening during the Cuban Missile Crisis. So what I want you guys to do right now is I want you to close your eyes and think of what you think an accent from Boston sounds like. Just close your eyes right now. Maybe you've heard Kim on the podcast who said, you know, that's kind of a Boston accent, and you would be right. Maybe you've heard other Boston accents in other movies and thought, oh, that seems authentic. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is find a clip of Kevin Costner in this movie attempting a Boston accent. Okay? And let me tell you, if you haven't heard it yet, you're going to be pretty shocked. You're going to be pretty shocked with how bad it is. So let's get off to the first point that I have, and it's that the casting performances are hit and miss. The first obvious one's Kevin Costner, because, my God, it is the worst Boston accent I have ever heard in my damned life. It is so bad. It is so forced, and it's almost characterish, only it's not that funny. But it's only funny in the context where he wants you to take it seriously and you really can't. It really is just ear-gratingly bad. And the problem is, he's your main character, so he's the one that you're seeing the most of. That's not good. And to be absolutely honest, okay, I think I can do a better Boston accent than Kevin Costner did in this movie. And I don't even try. I purposely do it badly for comedic effect when I'm doing that with Kim and everything. And I think I can do it better than he did. It's awful. It is so damn bad how the accent is. The other performance I would say is kind of hit and miss as well as Bruce Greenwood as John F. Kennedy. Now, when you look at him, you can see John F. Kennedy a little bit. He has the hair down right. The posture seems to be good. The problem is he doesn't even attempt to do the accent. Now, I know I just clowned on Kevin Costner doing the accent poorly, so maybe you look at that and go, well, maybe that's a good thing. You could be right, but he does attempt that accent in scenes of drama, when he's angry, when he's upset, and it doesn't sound great. Maybe it's a blessing that he doesn't do it so much, but when I hear him, I don't really hear John F. Kennedy. But then again, he does look pretty well. What I will say is Steven Culp as Bobby Kennedy is actually not bad. He is most believable of the three, and I think he put more effort into that character than I think the other two actors did. Is it a great performance? No, not really, but it's fine enough. I guess compared to the other two, it's good. I think the three performances here are kind of hit and miss and not that great. The other thing that I have a problem with this film is that it has questionable stylistic choices, and those choices are weird for a couple reasons. One, they have random scenes in black and white. Now, I read, I think on IMDb, that the director said he put some scenes in black and white to give it like a historical feel, to look like photos from Life magazine. And I've got to tell you, they don't work. They just feel really random for no reason whatsoever. And they're black and white photos of like a bunch of guys talking, a bunch of guys walking, stuff like that. And it's just like, I don't see the point of this being in black and white. The other is that they use archival footage from the time as well, which I thought was a nice touch, but they only randomly use that. It just kind of felt like they only did that for budgetary reasons. So, for example, they'll have archival footage of ships in the water, or if people watching TV or listening to the radio wondering about what's going on. But then they'll mix it with scenes with actors doing that as well, and it just seems off. It just doesn't seem very cohesive when you're watching it, because I kept watching it going, so wait, why are they going from archival footage to actors and back again? Another problem I had, most of the movie is pretty damn slow. This is about a 2 hour and 20-minute movie, and I felt the first hour pretty distinctly. The first hour is what sets up what's going on with the Cuban Missile Crisis, and it goes on for a while. I think I got an hour in and thought, okay, so we're probably towards the end, right? And then I look at it and goes, oh no, it's only 55 minutes in? Oh, no. There are certain things in the film that I think could have been cut for brevity. Now, from what I've read, this movie is actually pretty historically accurate, especially with the minutia of stuff, but I think it's that minutia that drives the film down when it comes to its pacing. Maybe some will appreciate the minutia in that, but I felt it kind of really dragged the narrative down. I have said a lot of negative things on this, but I gotta be honest too. If you are a fan of historical movies or historical dramas or even political thrillers that were from the 90s, think of Tom Clancy movies and stuff like that. I could see some people actually kind of enjoying this, but only really on that type of thought process. I think historical dramas have gone up in terms of quality. There are historical dramas that have really upped the quality to make you think that, oh my god, I'm actually watching the person on my screen. And there are others that seem to get the vibe and the mood and the feel of what's going on absolutely right. This does neither for me. But again, if you just want a dramatic retelling of what happened, I think some might enjoy this, but I kind of felt like this was lacking. So overall, I'm not going to recommend 13 Days. I did not like this movie that much at all. But bear in mind, like I said in the fourth point of my review, if this is something that you kind of miss and this sounds pretty neat to you, then I would say give it a shot. But if you've gotten used to the high quality of what historical epics and historical dramas have become in the past, I'd say 10 or 20 years, I think this would be a marked step down. Again, I think the casting was done wrong. I think there were stylistic choices that didn't work in the movie. And maybe with the exception of Steven Culp as the one thing that I would say is a good thing about this movie, I think this film was also pretty damn boring at most times. Which, again, for something that is a very fascinating time in history, especially American history, I think is kind of a disappointing way to actually do this movie. So overall, I'm not going to recommend 13 Days. You can rent it anywhere if you are interested, but yeah, that's my thought on that. Now, if you want my full review on this movie, you can go to my website at IamTheWiz.com. You'll have my full written review right on the site, along with a link to the video that has this review that you've just listened to. Thank you for listening to this review. If you want to know what we're reviewing in the next couple of days, you can look on the screen right now to see what's coming up next. If you like what you heard, go ahead and leave a like on this video. If you want to discuss your opinion on the film or the review itself, please leave a comment. And if you want to hear more, subscribe to the channel. Thank you again for listening. I will talk to you next time.